Hello, everyone. Welcome to the SoCal AI Podcast. I'm your host, Luis, and along with my partner, Edgar, we talk to business owners and entrepreneurs about their field of expertise. Today, we are joined by Deb Peterson. Welcome, Deb. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So, Deb, you have a very impressive career. I see you spent a lot of time in marketing, and you actually have a degree in marketing.
Yes.
You've been the founder and CEO of Wellness Gala since 2007. I was very captivated by your story. It sounds like, when your son was diagnosed with severe Tourette's, that's what led you into trying to find, a solution for that or a cure for him.
Yes.
And I read your story. You said that you found an energy healer. Can you tell us what an energy healer is? Because I have no idea what that is.
Really? And you live in California. I'm surprised.
Well,
I imagine it has something to do with Reiki. Is it Reiki?
Kind of, but it's a much
Kind of.
higher level. So Reiki is like your basic energy work. This particular man, Dr. Robert Kendarjian, had his own brand. Well, I'm saying had because he just recently retired. So it's been a long time. That was about 20 years ago, 21 years ago. So he basically it's called intuitive energy healing. So he's intuitive, right? And receives messages and things. And basically is working, everybody has an aura, right? An electromagnetic field on their body. So, yeah. And basically he just worked with that to kind of like even out the energy field to wherever there were imperfections or out of balance. That's really it sounds very simple. It's sort of, if you want to think of it like acupuncture without the needles. Yeah.
I've had acupuncture.
I work with hundreds of practitioners, starting with him, but it's really some fascinating stuff.
And it sounds like that's how Wellness Gala evolved, right? From not only what you learned from him, but you mentioned neurologists and, other doctors and therapists.
Yes.
And is that what the gala is about? You kind of incorporate all these different wellness aspects into one and bring everybody together?
Basically, as you know from my story, I was quite desperate. I went the traditional medical route and nothing was helping. So a friend led me to this man and then, he cured my son. So I left my corporate job and I said, people need to know about this. And I didn't really know anything about it, obviously. And I just went blindly. So I kind of made it my mission and my quest to bring this to the public. And I worked with him for a couple of years and then I started the Wellness Gala because I felt like there's so many holistic options out there that I was just learning about at that time. And that I wanted the mainstream to know about this. I didn't want to preach to the choir. Of course, they were welcome to come, but so let me just back up for a second. So what happened was when I was working for Dr. Kendarjian, a lot of practitioners start approaching me to do marketing for them. And I was trying to do that and it wasn't quite, working out very smoothly. So that's when I came up with the idea of the Wellness Gala to kind of put everybody under one roof for the events. And I always made them upscale music, either in a country club or a nice hotel or something like that. Food was included, all this, because I didn't want it to be hokey. So that's really how the format started. So I trademarked the format and it just started doing them. And what's nice, and it's still basically, I've changed the format over the years a bit, but I still kept the original thing, which was you come in, you pay one price for your ticket, which very inexpensive actually, and you can try all these sessions.
I'm telling you, I was looking at the videos. I'm like, that food is worth the admission. Yeah.
I say this. I'm Italian,
I saw there's like massage therapists giving you massages, and there's like scalp therapy, and like I'm like, are you coming to California soon? Please?
I wish I wasn't
breath work, right? There's also breath work. Breath work sessions.
The modality, we have it, or we've had it. Yes. And then I also get, vendors that complement, holistic vendors. Sometimes, MDs that kind of, support that. It's all holistic all the time, but that is the main thing. And, I never say this stuff is to take the place of traditional medicine. It's always to complement it, to use in conjunction.
Yeah. So, that's great. Yeah. And since you started the event, are you seeing a bigger interest in emotional wellness, like spiritual healing or
yes.
wellness?
Yes. So basically, well, back in the, okay, how do I answer? So back in the, we went all over the country bringing the wellness galas. And then, of course, we had COVID. And, I live in the New York City area. So everything was completely shut down. Right. So that's when I got my TV show, Balance Your Life, which is on like a local channel that's the tri-state area of New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Long Island. So, and we have 8 seasons of that. And then and then we have the podcast, which we just started in October. And yes, the reason that we started that is because I feel like after doing this for 20 plus years, that in the last literally like 2 years or so, this stuff has skyrocketed.
Yeah.
Spiritual aspect. Like people are more open. People are searching for other answers. They're maybe like not so happy with the doctors sometimes or the medicines. Not that they're not necessary.
But we hear that in our, all over the place in regards to our healthcare system, that they're really, addressing symptoms and not looking for cures.
Yeah. Never
so
you said it, not me. But it's, I mean, obviously they have, they have their time and place, but I feel like people are searching, outside of that, especially, I mean, you guys know the world's a little bit crazy right now. You live by LA, right? I mean, you're.
Yeah, we were impacted by that drama.
I feel like things are so chaotic and whatever, and people are searching for answers, not just with their health and wellness, but, their whole being, So that's kind of where the spirituality piece comes in, people are learning. I work a lot with different intuitives, or as a lot of people call them, psychics, although I don't like to call them that, and the uptick in that is unbelievable.
Do you feel that it's more of like the newer generation that's more open to that, or is it?
Actually, young people are very open to that, I find, but everybody, all different ages, they're just more curious. They're more looking for answers, looking for something to feel, I don't know, more stable or, just feel better about what's going on. But to answer your question, huge difference in just the last couple of years. I mean,
What do you think? Why do you think that is? Is it social media?
I think it's because of what's going on, and I think people are seeking answers, and the whole thing that we just said about the doctors, and they just want, another opinion or, something else to support their healing journey, whatever that is.
I think for what's going on, like the geopolitical space, puts a lot of stress on everybody's, almost like, what is that called? Survivor guilt, right? We're here.
Right.
Living our normal lives, and we see the tragedies going on across the globe, and you're like, how am I supposed to do my daily work kind of thing?
Yeah, it's hard.
So tell us, what aspects of the gala are thriving right now, and what do you think is not working so well in your galas?
Well, I've changed the galas a little. So I used to, like we talked about, have, all different practitioners and vendors, and I'd go like 40 to 60 of them. Then it evolved to having that, right, with a keynote, someone that might be a little bit, famous. And after COVID, more recently, actually after like my TV show, I had an idea to put together a panel of intuitives. Actually, I wanted to film it. That's why it started. And so I had an event where I had, it's either 4 or 5 panelists, and they're all healers or intuitive. So I still had the vendors, but not as many, maybe like 20, 25. So the main focus became the panel. And what was nice about the panel is they'd talk about a topic, for example, the power of intention. Everybody would kind of give their ideas about it and whatever, tidbits. And then the fun part was we'd open up the floor so people could ask questions of the panel. And that was what got crazy good, because like we just talked about, everybody wants to know. There's a lot of uncertainty, and they could ask anything they wanted. And
a lot of curiosity around it too as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. And people just want to know, even if they don't even believe in it and they're skeptics, what's going to happen with my love life? What's going to happen with my career? It's that type of thing. But what's cool is that, like I said, at least 2 panelists would answer the question, and sometimes even more, depending on what the question was. So it was very interactive, and all the people in the audience, even if they didn't answer a question, they got that benefit of the energy in the room. So anyways, kind of pivoted to that a bit. And that's what we've been doing. I don't know, like the last 6, I'm just trying to say, like the last couple years now. It used to be working well. We we sell out. We have a lot, less people, but we sell out of the seats, and it's good.
Do you have like a typical day, Deb?
Yeah,
Or is your day just like
you seem so busy. You got so many things going on, right? But what does a typical day in your life look like?
Gosh. Well, I always try to do my
answer
email.
emails?
What?
Answer emails.
Yeah, answer emails, I spend a lot of my day on the phone, honestly, because I still am the person, like I said, I have a team of people that do a lot of the logistical stuff and the admin stuff, thank God, because I don't like to do that. But I enjoy this kind of stuff is fun. But I do spend a lot of time on the phone. If I'm having an event, I'm looking for sponsors. I'm setting all that kind of stuff up. If I'm working on the TV show or the podcast like you, I'm trying to get guests. I have to talk to them about, and I'm filming quite a bit. So
tell us more about your TV show, because that's one thing I didn't get too much time to look at.
Okay.
I briefly looked at, your episode. I'm like, this looks really professional. Like she's in the studio, but it was on your YouTube. And then I saw the .tv link and I'm like, oh wait, that's like a TV show. So yeah, tell us more about it.
Yeah. It is called Balance Your Life, and it is in the New York metro area, but it's also on YouTube. So, and it's all about health and wellness. It's really my mission that it's the same thing, just a different platform. So each episode is a half an hour.
Is that weekly or?
Yes, weekly on like Saturday mornings here. And I typically have 3 guests on like 3 segments and commercials and things. And again, it's to educate people about these, about integrative medicine and wellness options. And
I saw a very broad different topics. Like I saw where you guys were making smoothies, it looked like. So I'm guessing there's, tips
everything. We have a little cooking.
Wellness on tips on you are what you eat, right? So wellness goes right along with that.
Sometimes we make cocktails even, believe it or not.
Whoa, there you go.
What food be thy medicine?
Talk about, Barb, who does that, talks about why it's healthy, So yeah, that's a lot of fun. I enjoy that. A lot of work, obviously. And then the podcast started last October, and that's a deeper dive into spirituality. So that's if you really want to, go into the spiritual stuff.
How long is your podcast? Is that also 30 minutes?
About 45, 50 typically. And we drop a new one each week. So
as far as your day-to-day activities, you said that this stuff like this is what you enjoy doing, right?
I do
so
love
a lot
this,
of like the maybe some of the not so glamorous stuff like scheduling,
Right.
doing email campaigns and things like that.
Right. Who wants
That's
to do
handled
that?
by your team, I imagine. Yeah.
What was the question?
That kind of stuff, I imagine it's handled by your team, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever considered any of AI tools for that kind of work for you?
Yes. I mean, we do use some of them. And, it's funny, I'm old school. So we were making a one sheet for something. And, I'm racking my brain because that's part of marketing, exactly how I want it to, sound. And then all of a sudden, one of them goes, wait a minute, I'm just going to put this into AI chat. And I'm like, oh my God, all these years of all the, and it's done in 3 seconds, right? So yes. So we have been doing that a little bit, sure there's more.
Yeah. There's so many tools coming out like every day, it seems.
Yeah. I know. I get a lot of emails on that.
So what are some standout events or partnerships that you have upcoming this year?
Well, we just had a big gala June 5th. So, I don't know when this is going to air, but obviously summertime now. Summer's like a slower thing.
Okay.
Because, people are on vacation and no one's working apparently. I did just have an event last night. I do like monthly in my studio there. I also have an office space, an event space.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So for like your local friends or your close friends kind of thing?
Well, no, last night I had an event for a practitioner.
Okay, so more like little private events per se.
Yeah, I mean, it can hold up to 55 people.
That's pretty good.
Style. Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, so
on those smaller ones that are for a specific person or company, do you also have keynote speakers?
Well, no, like it's one person, like one speaker. So,
got it.
For example, I have, a medium, famous celebrity medium that will come in. And then, do you know what a medium is?
That guy's name? God, what's his name? Hollywood medium? What's
that
his
guy,
name?
Tyler?
Yeah, Tyler. Okay. Yeah, I love watching his stuff.
Yeah. So Yeah, I'm not sure if he's on anymore, but so it's a gallery reading is what it's called when you have a group and then they start getting messages and did you ever see John Edwards back in the day?
Yeah, I remember
Okay,
John
it's like
Edwards.
that kind of thing where he's saying, okay, I'm getting a message from, over here who has,
Oh yeah, he called it out in the crowd.
right. So I'm doing that. I'm doing like a manifesting thing in September, just different things. And that's one speaker, no vendors. It's just individual, smaller events. And then we'll have another big gala in the fall because we always, do.
In the fall. So that I was going to ask you what's coming up in the next 6 to 12 months. So the fall is the next big gala.
Yeah, there'll be a few of those kind of events. Like we're just working on setting them up now in the summer. It's sort of just, like I said, slow working them out because everybody wants to be on vacation.
Do you ever hold virtual events?
We have not yet, but it's something that we keep talking about. I do these things called Psychic Sundays where we have 5 or 6 psychics and you could schedule a 15, 30, or 45-minute reading with them. And I'd like to put that online as well as in person.
Yeah, that would
So
be a
that's
great
something we're working on.
expansion for you. Expansion into the digital world, right?
Exactly. Just not something I personally want to figure out. So, we talk about it and we just need to do it.
So Luis mentioned the next 6 to 12 months, and continuing to grow the gala. Let's say if you had a magic wand to solve one of your issues with that right now, if you could get that done, what would that be for you?
You mean the gala part?
Yeah, like with being able to.
Well, I mean, if I had a magic wand, I'd have like a keynote or my whole panel put together and enough sponsorship to to really be good. That's kind of the biggest challenge.
So
And
sponsorship,
of course, getting people there is always the other part of it, right? It's setting up the event, and then it's the marketing to get the people there. So,
what's your main avenue of promoting your events?
well, let's see, everything like social media, email blasts.
And you have like a social media
We do ads.
team?
What?
Okay. Do you have a social media team as well?
Yeah, we do. I do.
Okay.
And like I'll do print. Like, do you know Natural Awakenings magazine?
No.
Okay, well they're national. There is one out there by you. But they're grouped kind of by region, and they are a holistic magazine. So I always advertise there in the local, depending on where my event is. So they bring a lot of people, and we still do old school, believe it or not, hanging flyers in the towns around the event. You wouldn't believe how many people come from that.
Yeah. Hey,
Still works.
Grassroots marketing, yeah.
That's it.
I spent a few years in marketing for one of the big phone companies. I won't say the name.
Oh, okay.
So I used to put events together and stuff like that. And
cool.
grassroots works. You go to one event, promote your next one, and you'd be surprised how well that works. Well, Deb, we are coming up on time, and okay. I know you have a hard stop, so we want to give you some time in between. We want to give you some time in between. We do want to thank you, obviously, so much for taking the time today. You painted a very powerful picture of what's possible in the wellness space.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Not just in the traditional medicine sense.
I know. Well, I was saying earlier, hey, if you guys want me to come to California, you could, I don't know, maybe we can do something. Yeah. I used to go to California quite a bit. I was saying
It sounds like we need to find you some sponsors is what we're saying.
Yeah,
that's
it. Yeah. Right. Sponsor right. and I can get a keynote. I actually in the LA area I have a lot of connections.
Yeah, a lot of people out here.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're in the.
Hey, you never know.
You're in the biggest city in the Jersey and New York. Yeah, Jersey, New York. But definitely, we'd love to see you out here.
Okay. Well,
yeah. Well, Deb, as we mentioned, we'll take this transcript, run it against our AI, and it'll identify any potential tools that may be able to help you, and we'll send that analysis free of charge to you, just as a thank you. And if there's any opportunities for us to partner, hopefully we'll be in touch.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Yeah, no, definitely. Great. We'll stay in touch. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure meeting you. Pleasure talking to you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. All right. Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.